Hi everyone, today's reading is from Colossians chapter 1 verses 15 to 20. The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. And he is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning and the firstborn from among the dead, so that in everything he might have the supremacy. For God was pleased to have all his fullness dwell in him, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, by making peace through his blood shed on the cross. This passage is one of the most profound descriptions of Jesus I think you'll find anywhere in the Bible. And it feels very apt to hear it at this point in the year, just as we're about to start retelling the narrative of Jesus' final days. The question which I think would have been on everyone's lips throughout Jesus' ministry, and perhaps especially during his trial in the days before his death, was, who is Jesus? Who is this man who says and does such extraordinarily powerful but also offensive things? He was a good man, no doubt. He was wise. He always had a clever but humble answer for the trick questions people posed him. He was kind. He healed many people and offered gentle words to those who were most rejected in his community. He was a friend. Many people were drawn to him, and he always made time for them. But this passage tells us other things about him. It says he is the image of the invisible God. Jesus' very identity is that of God. He and the Father are the same God. The face of the one who was a good, kind, wise friend is the face of the Creator of everything that you can and cannot see. It says he was before all things, and that in him all things hold together. Not only was he there at the creation of the world, but he sustains it through his very being. He isn't going to go anywhere. He's not going to leave us. It says God was pleased to have all his fullness dwell in him. In having both human and divine natures, Jesus redeems the dismal state of humankind, pouring his godness into this ordinary body, thus enabling other ordinary bodies, our ordinary bodies, to enter into relationship with God. It says God reconciled to himself all things through Jesus, making peace through his blood shed on the cross. This sort of death seems far from peaceful, but in so choosing death, Jesus, the God-man, broke death's grip on all humankind by being risen to life again and bringing us peace. As we journey with Jesus this week, retelling the story of the cross and resurrection, let's remember who he really is, and let's worship him as our God.